Motherfucker!
Alright guys, here we are again to talk about iZombie. We're on, what are we, Season 2, Episode 15?
I like the pause before the season now.
Well, I was trying to think what the
is it,
episode was.
season 8?
Well, because in my head I was like, did we just do 13, 14? We're on Episode 15.
This says 15, yes. So either I got it wrong and you got it wrong. It's 15.
Episode 15, because I think we said we had 5 left.
Which should be 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. 5.
The math checks out, boys and girls. The math checks
We do the
out.
math. We're committed to doing the math.
Alright, so again, I like this episode.
Yes. I would say not quite as good as the previous one, but still pretty good.
Yeah, still pretty good.
And possibly certain parts were better, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Favorite part of the episode?
Oh, God. I should come prepared for that. My favorite part is near the very end when, like, Gilda-Rita is, like, maybe a zombie now or whatever.
Okay.
And wants
Spoilers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't just say the favorite. We'll get to that.
My
in the course
favorite
of the
part
things.
was in the very beginning almost,
Uh-huh.
when they're doing an autopsy on the rat, and then Bavino walks in, and like, just Ravi's face. He's like...
They cover the rat, kind of.
Yeah. And he just, like, locks eyes with him and tries to, like, stare him down, like, don't ask me what I'm doing.
Yeah, and Clive's looking at him like...
Just his face, it was priceless.
I like that, too.
All right, so, this episode, where do we start out?
Well, we start out with Blaine on a bus.
Yep.
He's wearing that picnic
He's in his underwear, wearing a I was gonna say picnic basket. He's wearing the blanket,
picnic basket.
staring at that bald dude like, I'm gonna eat that brain.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He then, like, talks about it, though, which sort of cheapens it. Do you want to just run through Blaine?
Sure.
Stick on the Blaine train?
We'll go on the Blaine train.
Or take the bus to the Blaine train
then
town?
Blaine takes the bus. He hops off, goes to his local morgue to get a brain because he was feeling a little peckish.
Yeah.
But then doesn't eat the brain until he gets home. So I was like, was he that peckish?
Right? You're showing too much restraint.
He held a Tupperware with brain all the way home.
Yep.
A clear Tupperware with brain.
I like that you're highlighting that as a major problem.
Because it was dumb to me. He should have
It
wolfed
was
it
dumb.
down, like, right there. In order
He
to...
should have desperately, with his fingers, dirty fingers, shoved it in his face.
You would think.
So I loved how he was like, brains! And Ravi's like, oh, God. He's like, no. But seriously, though, I need a brain.
I could use a brain if you got one.
Yeah. That was awesome. Could you call me an Uber, he says?
And then he does, I think, which I'm like...
I'm not sure.
oh, that would mean he charged it to him. He could have called him a cab. That
Did
would
you get the one for Uber? Sign up with a friend?
Well, you know, it's not like he could have paid. He has nothing.
Yeah, he's naked.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happens with Blaine. These notes are a mess.
Blaine, from there, goes back to the house. He's like, yep. He's like, remember you hadn't seen me a couple days? He cut my neck, left me for dead. And they're like, oh, my God. And he's wearing some clothes he got from
Oh, and he
Ravi.
jokes about it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Well, he's also has, like, a scientist brain, like, not in him yet, but he was already talking, I felt, with, like, a British accent, or I guess he was just copying...
he was, like, making fun of Ravi and his preppy clothes or something like that.
Yeah.
But, yes, if there's any complaints, well, there are many complaints about the logistics of the show, but if you want to find, like, a real one, it's probably that sometimes things bleed into the past.
Yeah.
Where you're already kind of doing the thing that you'll do once you either eat a brain or find something out later. I don't know.
He does start feeling like his life could end. Ravi did give him the cure, in quotes, what he thinks could be the last-ditch effort if he's going to die.
Yeah, he gives him that syringe.
Save him from going full-mode zombie.
But he tells him, so he kind of lays it out, right, that they're like the borrowed time thing again or whatever. They have the thing, but blah, blah, blah.
This is untested, really. We did it on that. It's turned back color. We don't know what's going to happen in tomorrow or the next day, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, and he develops a cough, and he starts feeling like he's actually going to die. He gives all his passwords and his codes and his bullshit to his lackeys and says, like, all right, you guys, here you are.
Yeah.
If something happens to me, keep the brains going, do this, do that. Bury those drugs, though, because, fuck it, we don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm dead. Let's keep it that way,
I like that too.
We'll keep going. And I'm like, that makes sense, but I would have thought he would have used his new, like, you can't kill me, motherfucker power of, like, I'm going to kill you now for killing me.
Kind of, right? It's a little weird in a way.
Yeah, he's still scared. All he has to do is get a little angry when he's near him. He could rip through his whole army. I guess the risk of getting shot in the head is there.
Sure.
He's not invulnerable. He could wear, like, a helmet.
I almost just described him as an invulnerable undead badass. But yes, he's not really invulnerable,
Yeah.
of course. I don't know. I mean, that's that. He lays it out.
Did you catch? I tried to see as he was doing it. He donated some money to something.
I was actually contemplating rewinding, but we have a long-standing
no
commitment
rewinding.
against rewinding.
I saw it was like
It was
either
like
it needed,
Tibetan freedom or something,
it was
right?
like 5,000 or 50,000 or 5 million. It was a 5 something.
Okay.
And I was like, what is that? And he like donated, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they do like a whole.
And then says
with
how
the shoulder
he
thing.
picked out his funeral spot. He's like, oh, at the end of the thing by the lake where the swan is. And I'm like,
Right? Yeah, for the
right.
view. You know, life's so fragile or something. Whatever the fuck.
yeah. Is there any more with Blaine at the end? That's the end.
Well,
of Blaine.
yeah. So this whole thing of let's just talk about Blaine was totally ill-conceived. I wrote down that he gives Major Drake's name.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He does come by to
There's a
see who
major
on the
bit.
list he could take out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he sticks him on Drake. And I forget, Major's never met Drake, right? It's always been like ships in the night. Never
Yes,
actually saw
exactly.
him. And Blaine thinks that Drake has kind of sold him out the river, even though he only found out about this assassination after it had taken place.
Yeah, I didn't like that. It seems kind of weird. He just throws out this offhanded comment, right, of like, we're supposed to have a man inside to warn us about just such a thing, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know if that's if he's reacting too hastily. He was killed, so I think I'd be a little angry too.
Maybe it's not an overreaction, what you're saying?
Yeah.
Sure, I guess.
Like, we know as an outside observer it is, but if I just stabbed you in the neck and then you came back to life tomorrow, you'd probably want me dead.
When I'd be like, our mutual friends should have done something.
Yeah.
You don't just stab me. You
something.
do.
But yeah, so I was like, oh, okay. And spoilers, he does get him at the end.
I know. That's like, there's like 3 things at the end there. Like, Blaine injects himself.
Yeah, the cough grows too fierce.
That cough was a weird thing. I'm not sure about that either. It's kind of strange, right?
I don't know that a cough would happen.
And
Because what
like,
would it be from?
was the rat coughing?
Not that we know of, but no one was checking on the rat.
And I guess he's like, zombies don't cough. Zombies don't cough. And that's why he thinks he's dying.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just hypochondriacing or something.
He also could be coming back to life. We have no idea.
Literally anything could be happening.
But I guess it would be too late if he ever did actually turn. It probably wouldn't work to fix him, and you know he wouldn't have the mental consciousness to do it to himself.
Oh, if he goes full crazy mode. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess if
really,
you're already at peace with death, try it, and then if you die, you die. If you don't, you don't.
And he donates and he tells us. I wrote down the smiley face emoji from the big guy that can't talk or whatever.
Yeah.
Because one guy's like, totally yes, whatever, blah blah, and the guy goes, ring, and he's like, thanks, Chief, or something like that. Like he sends him a smiley face. Okay.
And he says you've been loyal lackeys for years. That's just not true, right? It can't have been years.
That's patently false.
Yeah.
Because Liv, like, they make a big deal out of it being 6 months since Liv, called off the wedding when, like, the show really starts, right? It can't have been multiple years.
I don't think so.
And it was 162 days when the rat, like, died or whatever, right? Or like 184 days or something like that. That's barely like a year total then. So we are to believe then that multiple years took place between the start of the show and when Major becomes a zombie for like 2 seconds, which is not true.
No, it would have been multiple years after that. Because those guys didn't get
Didn't the rat just die?
And what I'm saying is that Chief didn't even get turned until
Yes,
then.
of
So
course.
it would have to be multiple years since Major killed everybody.
Which can't be true either.
No.
Because they're in a thing, in like the freezer, and they talk to Wings Guy and Gilda about that.
The only thing is maybe I'm forgetting something because Scott E. or Davey
No, and Peyton said she was gone for like 2 months.
No. What
Done.
What I'm going to say here is that Scott E. character, or whichever one he is still alive, he knew Blaine before this, so he could have been around for years.
Sure.
And I didn't pick up. Maybe Chief has been around with Scott E. for years.
Oh.
Maybe they were like his on the corner boys from back in the day.
Yes, and now they're
So that could just be us missing something. But that's the only way that works out.
now there's Undead Crew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Chief came from there. That would explain why that freaky guy is there, I suppose.
It would, but I don't remember there being the one sentence that I would need to make that work.
Yeah, I know. I
'Cause
don't
why
remember
would
it
there
either. Because why would there be? Why the big guy? The big zombie.
You love Major.
I love the like the badness of that or whatever. The case.
So the case Why can't I even think of the fucking case? What was the case?
The case was forgettable and horrible. There was an arson victim. A scientist
this is goofy as
had
fuck.
like some lighter fluid thrown on her, and she was set on fire. I can't even bring myself to explain all this.
It's just so convoluted and stupid. So 2 doctors are due. I can't even think how to phrase this. So 2 doctors caused a woman to have horrible face trauma and scarring and whatever.
We're doing trials of
that woman,
acne medication, and
so that woman is a lead suspect in the death of one of these doctors because they horribly scarred her. So they go to the house and she looks beautiful, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, oh, plastic surgery, modern wonders, whatever. They gave me some, which covered about 1/10 of it, and then I had to take out huge loans. I'll pay the rest of my life for the rest. Okay, so you can see why I'm not a suspect. You're not. All right, and they leave. And it turns out she was a twin, and the twin other one was actually horribly bruised. And oh my God!
Well done. I would have just said the first thing they say is acne victim, like acne medication victim whose face was horribly disfigured, and the doctor's face was on fire. It's probably her. And then they spend the whole episode dancing around that it's not her, and then it turns out there's a twin and it's her, which is the dumbest thing ever to me. Anytime there's like a twin, I always think it's dumb.
Yeah, well, it's because it's just like, oh my God, how unnecessary and weird and whatever. It was forgettable, but it also had that same thing they have with everything, where everyone is related to somebody else in a thing. Where in this case, one of those doctors was now working for Max Rager as their like zombie wrangler, what have you, in the secret sub basement, and
oh yeah.
Now she gets some visions from inside there, knows they have a zombie, goes undercover as a normal girl, gets caught, gets taken upstairs, gets sent away. The whole thing. That part was a little weird.
I think we actually saw Dr. Irving, and she was the one who was like, I need you to get a blood sample or whatever. That might have been her.
Oh, you're right. I bet that is her, actually.
I think that is her.
Yeah.
And
I like his spiel about every business has a secret basement.
Oh, yeah. No, okay. So
because it does make sense.
The highlight, yeah. Did I write down? Yeah, the secret basement speech. Oh, God. There's so much to talk about. Oh, my God. Let's finish that case, though. One of the guys is a pirate now. They're interviewing him.
Yeah.
Not a real pirate. Don't
he
be
works
ridiculous.
at what was the name of it? It was like Shiver Me Timbers, or no, it was
Get that booty.
No, something Ho. Something.
Oh yes, fuck. Did I write that down?
I forget.
I saw her last week. She looked like Groot.
Yeah.
Every episode, once we have production value, we should cut out like a small audio clip. So like once like the theme song stops, like I fed him spaghetti, or like I saw her last week, she looks like Groot. What about the big zombie? Oh, amazing. Go full Romero zombie. Yeah. She sees a vision of that stupid zombie on the treadmill, but then we see them for real later.
Yeah. So the treadmill thing, let me talk about that real quick.
There's so much here.
So the stupid thing, they're down there and like they're talking about the zombie, and they have a cattle prod and they zap the zombie. And zapping the zombie somehow like pulls a wire out of the back wall, and that was somehow tethering it.
It like made the zombie like run
it
harder.
energized it.
Yeah.
Like the bunny was playing the drums, like do it, bitch.
Probably that mitochondrial metabolism with the taurine that they were hinting at when the people had the science brains. I made that up. That's probably not it. But
either way, shocking it somehow dislodges its restraints.
40-something% increase in speed, unexpected.
And it kills the doctor.
It grabs that doctor. That was the doctor that participated in that test with Major and all that stuff. Doctor, whatever the fuck, who already had a close call. So I actually feel bad. He's kind of getting shat on, but he's working in the secret basement. Whatever.
So that doctor is dead, as every doctor that ever works for this company is dead.
Yeah.
You'd think HR would really be wondering at this point what's happening.
I like it. I think it's like the drummers in Spinal Tap. I think it's awesome. I think the fact that they just have this rolling thing, another accident, and Wings guy just plays it like, yep, no.
Well, so he dies, and then the zombie makes a run for it. Our Gilda or Rita, whatever the fuck her name is, she runs, does the whole proud, oh my heel, I fall, oh God, and like when it's going the wrong way away from the elevator at the time of the fall, it seemed, because then the father who hung left while she went right is at the elevator, and she's like, Dad, hold the elevator, and then the zombie comes and he's like, ding.
And he goes, it was amazing. I love Wings Guy. That's fucking awesome. He look on his, I'm so sorry. I couldn't possibly, like, she's going to die. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And has she ever called him dad? Did she call him dad or daddy? It made me like
I thought
wince.
It was daddy.
Has she ever called him that before? I don't think
believe so, no.
Oh, and the way she did it. Oh, I like her now.
Well, she'll probably be around for a while.
I hope she's undead.
She's certainly not dead, but undead possibly.
Clearly, yes.
So the door closes, he goes upstairs, uses a remote, closes the door to his office, sits back down in his chair, like aims toward the window, then hears ding!
Did you like the work Wings Guy was doing there? The facial acting?
I always like
the
his facial
close-ups.
acting, yeah.
I don't always like it. And I always talk about Wings Guy because I'm happy that he's getting work.
He's so over like dramatic in like everything he does, and even like I don't care. It's like it's very much humorous.
But this was great, and like 3 episodes ago, I made that comment. We never go down a hallway. We never do like really tight shots or really wide. It's always medium distance, flat, whatever. This was like tight. There was lighting on his face. He turns. He makes it. His eyes twitch before they open after the ding. This whole thing happens. I'm like, oh, you're doing work. You're fucking actually acting for me. This is great.
So
and like the slow footsteps as she's getting closer.
It's Rita Gilda.
Gilda Rita. What's up?
She's like, let me in, and he's like, no. She bangs on the door a little bit, leaves some blood, and then kind of walks away, and that's the last we see of her.
Hobbles away. Yeah, let me in. I wrote down, let me in, zombie now, ?
Yeah, so that's interesting.
So you have better eyesight than me?
Sure.
Did, she seemed to have sunken eye stuff now? Were they trying to make it look like she's a zombie now? Were we meant to be
I didn't believe she was just covered in, cuts and blood.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything that made me think she was already a zombie, but that's what being scratched by a zombie is, unless being scratched by a super zombie is different.
Oh, that's a Supermax zombie, yeah, fuck.
So either she'll become, she could be the final boss now of the season.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, you're definitely going to get zombie on zombie fight.
Oh, that's great. Zombie on zombie girl fighting.
Because at the end of last episode, we had a punch to the face, so Rita Gilda already hates Liv.
That's perfect.
She took the boyfriend who she tried to take.
That's fucking perfect.
She got punched in the face, and her eye was fucking red.
Yes,
she
I loved
her.
I loved that too. I hope she has ocular hemorrhaging or something like that. Oh, and now it'll be fixed because she's a zombie. That's perfect. I was already hoping for this, but you're absolutely right. This makes perfect narrative sense because not only did she steal Major away, where Gilda Rita was all like, I feel things for Major even though I was just playing with him, but now I'm upset. She took Major away and then threw him away herself. She doesn't even have Major anymore. Liv does, right? She just fucked it all up with her fucking being in a relationship, healthy relationship things. Oh, this is wonderful.
She does not even have Blake anymore, though. There's not even big tough zombie to help.
Yes.
So you so obviously, if as I would my projections,
I love it.
Prediction of what's gonna happen is
all in.
You're gonna end up with a fight scene, and Major's gonna die, but he's not really gonna die because he's a zombie. He's just gonna come back as a zombie.
So
that's the trump card there to not die. And probably either help kill Rita Gilda or that'll be its own thing.
Fucking amazing.
We may even see Wings Guy turn into a zombie.
I was gonna say, I wonder if Wings Guy
she's probably she's like a vengeful bitch. She's probably gonna turn him into a zombie, and he's already roid raging and hating Major. So that could be part 2 of the fight. It could be Major versus Wings Guy, and it could be Gilda Rita versus Liv.
His system's full of Supermax. He keeps drinking it and all that shit. Oh, it could cause some kind of crazy reaction.
Sure.
That's perfect. No, I love that.
No, it's going to be interesting. What other things happen in this episode to
cross
knock out
everything here?
So Liv goes a little crazy, and she's with her new scientific checks and processes brain.
Yeah.
She's putting the test on Blake.
Yeah, thoughts about her brain in this case?
Didn't hate it.
That's a cut job. Yeah,
it solved the problem as to how to make the what do you call it? The
cure.
Virus cure work.
She had a fucking breakthrough with that.
So that's cool. She put a burner phone in his car to track his movements.
Yeah. I like the Doctor Who-ish, not Doctor Who-ish, the new BBC Sherlock-ish, things were floating around or whatever the fuck when she was thinking. something like that.
I liked the going to Blake's bar.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and that's like his version of Cheers. Everyone knows his name and likes him.
That was another fucking, and again, I feel like shit for highlighting them like this, but the show was so plain and bad for so long. But that, like, music montage, time, speed up, slow down as he goes through and fist pumps everybody, yeah, it's fucking great.
No, it had redeeming factors. It's
redeeming is
a
a perfect word for it. Yes, it's becoming like almost like a real show.
And hopefully it'll ride out these next 4 episodes and like just be awesome, so that season 3 can have 9 episodes of us hating it.
It's just gonna be like, and then season 3 just continues the trend, and you're like, no, it just has.
Because I don't think that'll happen.
No.
I just can't see it riding this train. I would love that because it's actually becoming an entertaining show.
Yeah, maybe they're getting more money. Maybe this is like the real deal now or something.
I don't know. It was approved for season 3 though.
I know there's
it's
a
not
season
already
3.
on. I forget.
It's probably already airing.
But we'll see where that goes.
Seamlessly goes. What were you just talking about though? Drake is his name. Fuck.
I said Blake.
You did. So Stacey Voss says we buried the competition.
Yeah. So he finds out. As Liv finds out, he's with Stacey Voss. Oh no, he is a criminal. This is horrible.
Right, that's the next thing. So Liv sees him with Boss, is what I wrote down.
So she wants to confront him.
She's
with
like,
Ravi's,
probability of whatever, 100%, disregard previous test results.
Yeah.
Like a whole thing, yeah.
You know, with Ravi's advice, it's like, you know, talk to him in public because he's a criminal. And they set up to meet at that pirate place where the other doctor is now a waiter, as they found it earlier. She likes the drinks, I guess, or whatever, for whatever reason she want to go back there, because she's like, I know the place.
I know just the place. Because the set's already dressed and we have it for the episode.
Probably. So he never shows because in the parking lot, Major nabs him. The car Major uses, is that a special car he has just for these heists?
I don't know. You would think someone would notice something.
Because I was like, does he drive like an old Caprice or whatever the hell that is?
Well, we've seen him get grenades and stuff out of his trunk. Does that seem like the same car?
I guess it does.
And he was driving, right, like
it looked
over
more
the bridge
beat up
to get to
in
a place.
In this scene.
I don't remember the car at all. I'm totally bluffing. I'm like, wasn't it a van? I have no idea. So Drake's like, Drake. Blake.
His name's Tate.
He's in the car for like a long time talking to his mom again. And like his opening line is, I really gotta go. As if they've been talking for a while. It was very weird to me. I'm like, what's going on here?
I think any conversation with that woman would be, I gotta go.
Listen, I gotta go. Really though, it's been great talking. I just called you. Yeah, I don't know. So it was weird, like the timing of it. I guess Major was waiting the whole time. I guess he just followed him the whole time. It was the whole thing. It felt like a weird thing, but it's fine. Yes, he gets the drop on him, which I guess he would have to do.
I thought it could have been a room for like a funny moment where there could have been like a cool little fight or something. Well, no, I pictured, you know, like you're in this like roughneck bar in the parking lot where I'm sure people are like smoking and drinking and doing whatever.
Yeah, right.
And they all know him, so I can see them like go to, hey, what are you doing? Ah, and like they're being like a little fisticuff action, but of course he's like stealth ninja man.
Yeah, and somehow drags this gigantic.
He's huge too. He's bigger than him.
Relatively speaking, he's huge. Definitely, Major is not.
You know, Major's not a small guy, but he makes Major look like a small guy.
That's what I was just going to say, is that, like, relatively speaking, like, seeing them together during that scene made me go, oh, because we haven't really seen them together, right?
We never have.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
To put a button on this, the bovine brain was not bovine.
Did you read that? Did you see this in the notes?
That's not even words.
That says bovine.
That says FBI, Brian input, Brian FBI.
FBI brains report bovine, and then I wrote FBI again for some reason.
That says bovine?
Well, no. Well, yeah.
Hey, let go. I need to show the audience.
It clearly says bovine.
There's like 4 letters there.
Huh?
Regardless, maybe it's boron at the very best.
I only write down the important letters. That way it saves time.
So they call about a brain question about how the size is, and they're like, oh, you got more brains? More human
did you guys
brains?
find more human brains?
What do you mean more human brains?
And
Did you even read my report?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I love how that guy looped back around and was like, well, that's also in the report, which you apparently didn't even read, or something like that.
I would have just, defended myself, been like, someone changed this. This is tampering, blah, blah, blah. It said bovine, because I don't want to seem like an idiot in front of anybody. Such a, that mistake would be like, pick up the red paint, Lee, and you give me blue, and I'm like, Lee, I asked for red, and you're like, well, the label says red, but you don't say that.
Yeah, no, it's weird. Like, they they responded like they had to hide from that guy we've never seen or heard
Yeah.
from, the fact that there's subterfuge just in case he's in on it or something, which makes no sense in the context.
Yeah. The only thing I can think about is yes, because if you tell him there's a problem, he'll go down the chain and try to figure something out or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you might not be able to get the jump on the person you're trying to sneak up on and figure out
Yeah,
who
I
fucked
mean,
your shit.
I honestly
But-
worded it wrong. It like came out wrong to give them too much credit. Like the scene felt off. It felt like
Well, it was an excuse for jokes. It's like the whole like
Yes,
you have
but-
cell phones, can't you just solve this problem? Or like the like simple misunderstanding plot line in every movie, like just say that's your sister. Like
right, but there was no reason here. It felt weird to me, like you're saying, that they were just kind of like, we need to hang up and oh god.
yeah, no, it was strange.
So I'm trying to think of other scenes and other things like that where like, yes, it's like, oh yes, no, I'll be right out, and then you hang up the phone because you're like, uh-oh.
Yes, Mr. Thompson.
I think he's talking to you.
You got anything written down there? Is that the last
I've
note?
crossed out all of my notes.
All right, so that's everything in this episode.
I like your predictions about the cat fighting and Major's death and rebirth. That's gonna suck though, again, because it's Blaine didn't come back because he died, right? We think it was just the timing because he impregnated that stylist hooker with his zombiness, right?
I think that was a mistake
What do you mean?
by the show.
Wow.
I
Shots fired.
I do. Because if it were, I think you would know when you became a zombie. I think, but I do believe that if Major were just to get shot in the stomach right now, he would turn into a zombie.
Yes.
I think I think you can force the hand, and I want to say that definitely spurred it along. The idea that girl got turned into a zombie from them having sex doesn't make sense to me. But I go with it because the show has a lot of those things where I'm like what your thing was, she's kind of acting like an FBI agent, but she's not even has an FBI brain.
Hasn't even that brain yet. Okay, that I don't like going towards that as like a theory behind something, but that makes it make perfect sense to me. Because in my head, I'm like, if like it was dormant and sex would do that, then Rita should already be a zombie because Major and Rita got freaky already, right? So it can't be that. But if it was just the timing, that's incredibly lucky that you were mid becoming a zombie the second you were going to get your throat slit.
That's what I'm saying. It's very convenient.
Yeah.
But until next time.